Josh Green here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Mr. Mark Tibbs, one of the busiest men in boxing. How you doing, Mark?
Hello, Josh. Good to see you. And yeah, all good, mate. Yourself? Yeah, are you well?
I'm very well, very well. Thank you very much for asking. Busy times in the gym, as I'm sure it always is with yourself. Just talk to me what you've been up to at the moment. I'm sure you've got some big stuff ahead.
Well, I'm not long been back from Las Vegas with Johnny Fisher, where he made his international debut on the Ben card over there, and I had to come back obviously on the Sunday and finish off a little bit of polishing up with John Hedges, who was fighting at the O2 on I think that was the 3rd of February, I believe.
Yeah, I was out.
And we got the win, and in great fashion, Johnny Hedges got his measure, whacked some shots downstairs, 2 shots downstairs, and went upstairs with a long left cross, a long left hook. Also, I had to S-Jam John's management. He whipped me swiftly on a train in a taxi, and we run like hell to get Tommy Fletcher, the Norfolk Nightmare, was fighting on the same night, just shortly after Johnny Hedges at the Copper Box, and he had a great a good win also. Yeah, a good win. So 2 cruiserweights there, Tommy Fletcher and Johnny Hedges, making their way up the ranking slowly but surely. Yeah, doing a good job.
With John Hedges, obviously there's been a change in weight. He's had that time out of the ring as well. How much has he benefited from the change in weight, and how much do you think we're going to see that extra progression from him?
Well, listen, he turned pro pretty early, in my professional opinion. But he had a good opportunity in signing with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing at such a young age that time out, when he had a bad hand and he had to have a hand operation, it's done him in good stead because he's matured, he's grown, he's got stronger. He's done some good work with his strength and conditioner in Sonny Cannon, and he's grown, matured in that time out. Johnny Hedges, listen, I can put him in with anyone in the world, to move around and spar with. He just knows how not to get hit. But he's getting more offensive, more offensive, and defensively he's sound as a pound, but offensively comes with more experience and more rounds in real time in the ring, and that's what he's now. He's at the hand operation. I really believe he's going to be busy times for him, and I'm hearing he could be fighting for an area title next time out. So that would be brilliant if that comes to fruition, for sure.
Someone who has already captured an area title is, of course, Johnny Fisher. You mentioned out in Las Vegas, got his first taste of fighting over in America. What's the plan now for Johnny? I think people are always eager to see him pushed on towards that British sort of level. But in your mind as the trainer, where do you want to see him go next?
Well, I'd like, for me, as Johnny Fisher's trainer, I've just only started to see him understand managing himself in the ring. Yeah, manage himself, not too eager to please, eager to demolish. Listen, he's an absolute wrecking machine. But you have to have a smart brain at championship level, because a lot of good boxers at that level would welcome the old Johnny Fisher, as in crash bang wallop, and but he's getting very, very astute with his chipping away, weathering storms, and basically he's a champion now, and he's of a different mentality. I mean, he's always been a winner, but Johnny Fisher is an absolute handful for anyone in the world, let alone domestically, because of his heart and his mindset and his physical strength. He could shake a man to death, no problem. But we ain't going to win fights by shaking people to death. But with that strength, we're going to hone them skills and polish them up even more, keep doing what we're doing. And And yeah, he's listen, he's all them boys in the domestic level above him. They've all sparred with him. They've all felt him, and you know they should all be weary of him.
It's a busy couple of weeks coming up in boxing, but I do want to get your thoughts on some news that broke over the weekend that Dillian Whyte has been cleared of any wrongdoing in a scientific report. As far as we know, obviously accepted by the Texas Athletic Commission. What was your sort of immediate reaction to hearing that news?
No, I was pleased with Dillian because one of the boys in the gym told me today, so was over the moon for him. Brilliant. Not too sure what he's got left, and I personally had 11 straight wins with him, unbeaten, and so I had fun with Dillian. We had fun together, and him and Andy's team. They were good fun, and we had a good journey together. So I was over the moon for him. For Dillian for sure, yeah. So one of the boys in the gym told me today.
You talk about there, you're not quite sure what he has left. This time out the ring has obviously taken time away from his career. What is there left that he will want to achieve? He'll obviously want a world title. Do you think he's still capable of meeting with those top names in the heavyweight division?
Well, it didn't quite get there at the top level. He was just under that, wasn't he? Wasn't he? And there's big fights for Dillian Whyte for sure. I mean, he can sell out the O2. He's done it a number of times, so there's big fights for him. I'm not too sure if he would be ready. One of them fight for the boys coming up and coming through. So I think I know Dillian like that. He wouldn't want to be of that sort of fight of that caliber, but there's big fights for him. I'm sure he's been to Saudi Arabia once. I'm sure he wants some more of that. He was on the first. We both was out there as atoms together, so I'm sure he wants a piece of that action again. But who knows? I don't know. Listen, there's some good fights for him. I'm sure Josie Parker might want a rematch with Dillian Whyte. That's a good fight. There is good fights out there for Dillian because Dillian brings something unique that other fighters still don't bring to the table. What Dillian does, entertainment wise, yeah. So be interesting to see what him and his team have in store for him for sure.
That heavyweight division is really churning out the eye-catching matchups at the moment. We're just a few days away from Anthony Joshua's return against Francis Ngannou. I'm sure you've been asked many times about your insight and analysis into that, but how much chance do you give Ngannou in that fight, and is it any different after seeing his performance against Fury?
Yeah, listen, the performance against Fury throws it for me because I expect Anthony to win, and but I wouldn't be surprised if Ngannou pulls it off. And that man, I saw him throw a punch. I know it's only on a punch bag or one of them fairground machines, but he shoots from the shoulder like a real professional boxer should shoot from the shoulder. And that man's got some power. He has. And yeah, so listen, I'm looking forward to that fight Saturday. Can't wait for that. And as I say, I expect Anthony Joshua to get the win, to win in good fashion. And but if he didn't, I wouldn't be surprised.
Do you think he hits harder than Anthony Joshua?
So sorry, what happened there? one of yeah, I think so. I think he's very hard puncher. I mean, I've seen him in when I was in Las Vegas 3 or 4 years ago, and I saw him at the UFC gym over there, and he was hovering around, looking after himself. So I understood he wasn't very active in his own sport, but that's why I never expected him to look so good against Tyson Fury last time out. And but the man's a world champion in his own craft and works at it clearly. and he probably will be a better boxer this time round, especially after fighting Tyson Fury in the fashion that he did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Talking of Tyson Fury, we're getting ever nearer to that redone date with Oleksandr Usyk. Is confidence 100% there from your mind that that fight goes ahead second time around and we do see Fury and Usyk for the undisputed?
Well, when I saw that cut, it was a very, very bad cut. And, you know, it did leave doubt in my mind whether he would be ready. But I saw a clip of him today, Tyson. I felt relieved. I felt the energy from him. It was only a little bit of shadow boxing. It looks in great shape. Looks in great shape. Yeah, he does. He looks in phenomenal shape, bodily wise, for sure. So, go on.
Would there be any concern about whether he'd be able to get the right amount of sparring in? As the cut, I'm sure, needs a long time to recover, and you need to make sure that that's not going to be an issue in sparring or when it does come to the fight.
Well, there's something that their own team would only know, but from on the outside, it would be a worry, it would be a concern for sure, and it's something that would have had to have been managed since he did get cut, and you know, it was something that you have to manage for sure. And not too sure, you know, I've got my own ideas how they would have gone about it, but listen, you know, only him, Tyson Fury, and his team would know them sort of things. And listen, great fight, can't wait for that. And the undisputed, let's just hope it. I'm sure it will come off.
Has the cut and sort of the aftermath of that changed your opinion of how that fight goes?
I can't say it hasn't, but I hope I hope it don't. And I think I always back Fury because the size and his just everything he projects. You know, he owns places when he walks in areas and arenas, and I just hope that he can put the nail in the coffin. I don't mean like that, you know, he can wrap this unification up and in good fashion, and I expect he does because of the size of him, because he is a proper heavyweight, a good heavyweight with natural ability that can't be trained or bought. He's just come through, you know, he's gone through the system, and he knows all the tricks of the trade, and he's going to need everything and all of that against Oleksandr Usyk because he's a phenomenal specimen too. But I just feel he's not a proper heavyweight, and he shouldn't beat Tyson Fury if they're both at the, you know, at the pinnacle of their game, top of their game. But you know, intellectual wise, they're both as smart as one another, and it's just as long as he's that eye can hold up, and he's took his camp seriously, which I think he has to, and he would have done. He'll be at the best he can be.
Final thing for you, I saw you post a photo of an old training camp with Billy Joe Saunders. I think it was prior to the Martin Murray fight. Billy Joe's been sort of looking into the possibility of a comeback. Is that something you'd like to see?
You know, boxing trainers alike would all like to see someone of the caliber of Billy Joe Saunders fight, but not if he wasn't at his best or in great nick. So I just found that picture. I was going through my phone, I found it, and it was lovely to see. And memories of that particular training camp is always, you know, it was nice to see him in such good shape. Yeah, for sure. No, I'd love to see Billy Joe Saunders return to the ring for sure. Yeah.
Well, you've got a lot coming up. I believe you'll be in Sheffield on the 23rd of March. There's a plenty coming up for yourself and your fighters. So hopefully we'll get to catch up again soon.